Gary Crowley and Michael Hutchence from INXS, blowing the froth there off a few jars. It's always nice to meet a fellow sex god. Welcome to the programme.
Well, thank you.
Now, you're over here at the moment doing, well, the tour's been described as like a world pub tour.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it been like to sort of like see the whites of your fans' eyes again, you know, to be in such close, sweaty proximity?
It's really great. Well, we're enjoying it more than we thought we would, you know. Usually by this stage, we're 3 months in the tour and we're starting to rev up now, you know. So it's great.
I mean, you know, the last few times that you've been over to this country, it's been sort of stadium gigs. I mean, what's the thinking behind sort of going back to small places?
Well, we're between albums and we've always wanted to do something like this, so we thought now's the time, you know. We can just zip around. We haven't toured for a long time, you know, in the normal gigs, so now's the time to do it. Run around the world and say, hi, we're alive, and we've got an album coming out in September and stuff.
Does it sort of remind you a little bit of your early days? Because that's how INXS started out, didn't it? You know, checking across Australia and just playing pubs, really.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel nostalgic for those days?
Yeah, we played like 20 shows in Australia that we played about 8 years ago, you know. So, sure. And you know, Town and Country or the Forum or whatever. So yeah, it's great. Same old graffiti and same old problems, you know. It's good.
I mean, I understand that the security is at a minimum at a lot of these concerts. Has there been any scary moments so far?
Oh yeah, here and there. Nothing too bad. I mean, you know, it's usually my fault. So
what
if
sort
I jump
of things
in the audience or something, you know, that's about it. We had a problem in LA, but that wasn't exactly. That was a bigger show, but where they just swamp you and they end up people fall on each other and it becomes like lemmings, you know. But
I mean, what happens when you kind of sort of jump
scars, you know.
What happens when you jump out into the crowd like that? I mean, you know, does everybody?
They're supposed to hold you up and throw you back. You know?
That's
occasionally
the idea.
They don't. Yeah. Occasionally they just pummel you.
I was going to say, do people's hands kind of tend to sort of like go walkabout all over your body?
Yeah,
is
it's a
that
bit
something
of
that you enjoy?
Oh, immensely.
Well, nice work if you can get it.
If you can get it, yeah.
I mean, how difficult is it sort of keeping a relationship together, you know, with doing what you're doing? I mean, you're kind of constantly travelling, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't know the difference. I'm really used to it. I'd probably go nuts if I had to do 9 to 5, 5 days a week, you know. I'm just used to it. It's my life.
I mean, what do you do with like Helena?
We drive agents crazy, basically management crazy. You just grab days where you can grab them. You just got to work hard at it. That's all. Otherwise, you just lose contact.
Well, after this tour, you mentioned a little bit earlier on. You know, you start work on your next album.
It's finished. Actually.
Oh, it's finished already,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what can we sort of like expect from that?
I don't know. I was just writing about it a minute ago. I think it's almost our least complicated album for a long time. It doesn't really take on lots of different styles and stuff. It's pretty straightforward. It's really the band playing, you know, as much as possible. It's just the band going and playing. It's just us. No one else is on it at the moment. There might be a few surprises.
What sort of surprises?
Well, you'll see. We're still working out. Still talking to lawyers. You know, we'll see.
I mean, do you kind of
some good ones, I think.
Do you record in the same way, or do you sort of like, you know, take it from different angles? I mean, is it pretty much a similar sort of format that you stick to?
It depends on the song. If Andrew and I have already figured it out, we love it the way it is, and it's on tape, then we'll generally keep most of that, you know, and keep people off it, because everybody always wants to play on it. So the trick is to keep people off stuff if it doesn't need it, and otherwise, if we're totally lost, we'll just say, hey guys, have a shot at it, you know. Go out and turn it. You know, one of the songs started off with quite a fast song. We were fooling around with it. Gary and John were fooling around with it, and we're playing with it in a kind of Led Zeppelin slow, heavy style, and it actually worked really better. While we're laughing on the floor, we suddenly realized, not so funny. Let's keep it this way, you know. So sometimes that happens. Well, you do enough albums, you should be able to do it yourself, you know, or at least try it. It's an experiment, you know. You got no one else to blame, but. You know, it can be a problem. I mean, all we need is a referee, you know, in some ways. You need someone to be clear the room of, it becomes a bit like a parliamentary debate, you know, and you need someone in the middle to just, balance it out and give a real perspective, that's all. You know?
How much of a democracy?
Say shut up. You know?
I mean, how much of a democracy is INXS?
Too much of a democracy at times, you know, for our own good, I think. and at other times, I think it works really well. Well, you know, over the years, you take your place, in a way. You find out what you're good at and what you're not so good at, and that's how the 6 of us work together. You know, some of us are better at some things, some are better at others. You know?
Did you ever think, Michael, that, you know, it would have lasted 16 years? I mean, did you ever think about it?
I don't think we had time to think about it in some ways. We were just doing it. We've just been doing it. It's not till now that people ask that question that we actually had a meeting not so long ago and said, had to acknowledge the fact that we've been together this long, you know, and sort of shake hands and well done. You know? Really, you know, you don't notice it. Time goes by. And we started so young. I was like, turned 17 when we started. So
that leads me to my next question. I mean, do you see it sort of like going on for another 16 years?
No, I don't see why. There's no reason why it shouldn't, unless people are stoning us in the street, you know, or we can't put a record out anymore. You know, even then, maybe we just keep doing it. I don't know. Really don't know. I don't see why we would break up though.